We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
You are listening to The Underground Marketing Conspiracy, a secret ritual where entrepreneurs acquire highly classified and confidential business knowledge that the top 1% of income earners don't want you to know. And now, your host, Maddie Milligan.
What is going on, conspirator or conspirators? Welcome to another episode of The Underground Marketing Conspiracy. Woo! So, today I want to talk to you about conversion rates and why they honestly do not matter whatsoever. Doesn't matter on your opt-in page. Doesn't matter how many people take your order bump. Doesn't matter how many people take your upsell, right? Those things don't matter unless you have a very high average order value, or what's known as average cart value, right? Where for the average person that buys something in your funnel and in your campaign, they spend a certain amount of money. And the more money you can get from each customer on average who checks out, the more you can spend to acquire a customer, and the more you can spend than all of your competitors in any market to acquire a new customer. That's all that really matters, right? Whenever people are like, oh, can you help me with the conversion rates on my pages? I'm like, cool, like what happens after this page? How many other pages do you have, right? What's the rest of your funnel look like? How are you maximizing each order? What does the front end look like of this? What does the back end look like? What does the next back end look like for your next offer? What does your value ladder look like? So conversion rates really don't matter. I mean, sure, on an opt-in page, you probably want between 40 to 60%. If you're just asking for someone's email alone, that's probably something where if you want to optimize it, you can get it to those rates for sure. I mean, heck, even higher I've seen, but those don't matter if you have a very high average order value, right? Let's say I'm selling a $7 book and that's it. It's like, cool, buy my $7 book, right? Like I can spend $7 to acquire a customer. That's it. Like that's not much that I can actually spend to get someone in, right? All my competitors, if they can spend 100, they can purchase more on whether it's Facebook ads or Google ads or any sort of paid advertising. They can just start to spend more than me and they're going to absolutely destroy me. But let's say I sell that $7 book and then I'm like, hey, do you want to buy something for $97? And they're like, okay, cool, great. I've now increased the average cart value to, oh man, I'm doing math. I think that's 100. What is that? $104. I think I just did math correctly there. Wow. Not a good idea with me. But honestly, all I know is that whoever can spend more to acquire a customer wins. So again, let's say I have that $7 thing, then I sell something for $97, then I sell something for $197, then I sell something for $1,000, right? And if someone, on an average, I'm getting like $600, $700, $1,000, that's really all that matters. And sure, with a funnel, you want to find the step that's not working and dial that in and tweak it so that you can improve the conversion rate, right? And that's what a funnel is. You're basically finding the broken step and then improving the conversion rate. But honestly, if 100% of the people that go through my funnel, if they don't buy the first two upsells, but they buy that last $1,000 one, like, who cares about the other things? Sure, I'm going to tweak those other things, but like I went from $7, and again, 100%, let's say, which will never happen on your third upsell, is $1,000, right? It's like now I have $1,007 that I can spend to acquire a customer. And if my competitors are spending $500, it's like, cool, I can spend double now on ads than they are to just keep acquiring customers over and over and over again on the front end. This doesn't include all the other stuff that you can sell to your customers on the back end for your other products and future promotions and campaigns that you'll create. But it's just one of these myths that exists, right? I think it just exists from a lot of kind of mom and pop retail stores where they need to make money on every single transaction, right? If they buy something for $50, they need to, for example, sell it for $100 to make $50 on each of the transactions, right? Plus they're taking all the risk by having that product in stock, hoping that it's actually going to sell and not just sit on the shelf and collect dust. They need to make money on every single transaction, right? Because they're probably paying rent. But if you're selling information products, like that's the way to go, right? And it's a little bit more challenging if you are, I'd say, in affiliate marketing. It's probably easier because you can just offer some bonuses on the front end. And again, if it's a funnel that's already converting and whoever has given you permission to be a referral and an affiliate for that product, if they are like, hey, the average cart value is this, you can be like, whoa, that's pretty high. If it sucks, be like, you know what, I'll pass on this. But you yourself can start spending that, right? Like if they're getting 700, I saw one recently where it was like 750 average card value, which I was like, okay, that's pretty good, right? That might be something I want to promote myself. So I'm like, okay, what are the bonuses that I can offer on the front end, right? What am I going to put on my bridge page before I send them to their funnel, right? What's the pattern interrupt I'm going to use in the ad to get them to my bridge page, and then educate them a little bit more about the opportunity, and then again, show them the different bonuses that I can have that complement that order even better than the original order. Like, how do I put my order next to theirs and give it this awesome value for the price that the original person is asking? It's a little bit more challenging though with multi-level marketing, right? Where all of the distributor sites are absolutely awful. And this happens for every multi-level marketing company. And it's why a lot of people don't end up signing up. You send them these random websites made by who knows, and they're so hard to navigate. There's a million steps to sign up, and then it's just not organized well in terms of selling. Like if you go to Amazon, it's very well organized. When you go to a lot of the best converting e-commerce stores, and everything is laid out perfectly, right? When you go to like Walmart.com and you shop there, everything is laid out perfectly. You can navigate around, find what you want. It's a general store, so you can just search for whatever products you are. But I think that if you're just selling one item at a time, this is when you're going to get into trouble, right? That's why I think having those funnels where, again, it's like it's giving people multiple options to buy more stuff. That's what you need to do, like having those steps afterward. Because maybe you have a course and you're like, cool, I'm going to sell this for $1,000. It's like, all right, you need to have something that's going to get them to that $1,000. So maybe, again, sell something that's like $47 or sell something that's $7 even, or sell something that's like $2. Just get people to put their credit card into the system and then give them a chance to buy something else on the next page, right? Then maybe you can sell them on that $1,000 thing. Then, or if you really want to, you could have something after that $1,000 thing where it's like $3,000 or $5,000, right? Have a super high ticket, crazy offer. And even if you get one person that buys that one core last offer, that's really the way to go. And a lot of people, they're like, oh, how many upsells is too many upsells? How many one-time offers is too many one-time offers? I went through this funnel recently, and this one guy had 5, and it just kept getting better and better, where it was like, all right, it was this biohacking book that I got, where he's like, it's like the Biohacker's Guide, but I think his name is Anthony DiClementi. And the book, it's like $10. It's like a free plus shipping, so you just pay the $10 for shipping. There was an order bump for $27 for, I think, an audiobook or something like that. So that was the bonus that he gives, right? Then on the next page, it was some sort of bundle, and then there was like a subscription into his community, and then there was like a do-it-yourself testing, and then finally the final offer was like work with me directly, right? One-on-one personal help, which is like a super high ticket, like $10,000 thing where you had to call in. And the way his was set up too was that last page, it was made to look by the designer like another upsell page. Or sorry, it was made to look like an order confirmation page. But when I looked at the page, because I have these tools that I use when I'm doing my little funnel hacking stuff, I noticed that it was another one-time offer page that they'd set up. And it's like, wow, they positioned that. So I thought that was really cool, the way it's like, hey, this is the thank you page, but if you want to get this next thing and just buy it right now, it's this price, or you can call in and we can talk to you about it, right? But it gave you that option. And even all the copy on that thank you page positioned it as this order confirmation page. But I'm like, okay, this is a very interesting kind of unique way that they just keep going with that, right? But again, having multiple things to sell people, right? Just because you're done selling things to people doesn't mean they're done buying, right? So this is why having multiple products, I think, is very important, right? Having different things you can offer people. If you have a book, it's like physical book, get the audio book, right? Get maybe another book that you have. And taking books, it's something where, sure, it takes a lot of time, but you could definitely get a ghostwriter to write one for you as well if you really wanted to, and I'm sure it wouldn't necessarily even cost that much. But having multiple things, like again, having that audiobook, having the video version of your what you're selling as well, that's a quick way for information products, right? And people will pay more for video than they will for audio, and people will pay more for audio than they will for your written book. So keep this in mind, right? A lot of people, they're like, oh, I'm an author, I have a book. Like, how do I sell that book? And it's like, that needs to be your loss leader, right? Your book. I talked with Tim Conley, and one thing I found interesting with him is he's like, he says your book needs to be your business card, right? You need to just have this book written. It's going to take you some time, but have it so that when you meet someone, you can give it to them, right? This is why I always have some sort of free PDF you can give to people, like something they can consume very quickly. It doesn't need to be some like 2,000 page thing, but have something that for your avatar, right? Your dream customer, be like, what would they really want, right? Do a little bit of research, find what they want, and have that to give away. And then once you give that away to them, it's like, hey, they're going to feel obligated because you gave them value and they didn't give you anything back. When it's like, hey, I have this other thing, it's like $50. Do you want that? They'll be like, all right, cool. The other thing had more than $50 in value for me, the free thing you gave me. So I'd love to see what your paid stuff is. And then have something, again, if you're a coach, sell one-on-one consulting, sell inner circle coaching, right, which is limited to a certain amount of people, have a live event. There's all sorts of stuff that you can sell with people, and just to keep them to get them to buy more, right? And that, again, when people buy more and more and more stuff, if you have a high average order value, your conversion rates do not matter, right? If you have an opt-in page and you're like, okay, I would just want to, if you're getting a low conversion rate, again, that's something where it's like, all right, when someone sends me a page and like, oh, no one's opting in, or the opt-in rate is pretty low, I'm usually going to look at their headline. I'm going to look at the design of the page. I'm going to look at the bullet points. I'm going to look at how quickly the page loads as well. I'm going to look at if their domain has been SSL certified. I'm going to look at very small things. I'm going to see if it's the opt-in is actually working on their page. I'm going to see if the email after that, if they have an email sequence, in fact. Because a lot of people there, it's like, okay, cool, you're getting people that are opting in, but you don't have any sort of follow-up, right? So that's why, again, having that structure in place where you have the steps with your web pages, that's really what you want to do. And then again, once you have a high average order value where you have a lot of stuff to sell to people, that's when those conversion rates do not matter. Hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Underground Marketing Conspiracy. If you did enjoy it, I want you to consider subscribing, maybe even consider sharing this with someone that has a business and specifically sells probably e-commerce products and things online. I'm your boy, Matty Milligan, and I will see you next time on another episode of the Underground Marketing Conspiracy. Woo!